WCBI News at 10 starts now.
Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Tommy Lopez. Some potentially severe storms are coming into parts of our area right now. Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson has been following these developments all day today. He joins us now with what we can expect for the rest of the night.
Hey Tommy, right now we have one severe thunderstorm warning in our area. This is until 10:45 for Webster County. There's the storm cell right there between Eupora and Waldo, right there along Highway 9. It is getting pretty dicey here with the severe thunderstorm warning. As a matter of fact, we got our very own meteorologist Jacob Dickey live in the heart of the action right now in Webster County. You can see that thunderstorm right there. Some gusty wind, some lightning, and some very heavy rainfall. So that's what's going on out there in Webster County right now. I do want to show you the other storms we have across our area. That is the severe thunderstorm warning in the heart of our area. We also have a severe thunderstorm down here in Atala County until 10:45 as well. Again, wind gusts to 60 miles per hour are possible. Let me pop on the shear rate, and you can see this is where the fastest moving wind is at the lowest level, and it is just north of Eupora. So that little stripe right there is where we may see some wind gusts up to about 60 miles per hour. You can see how we just got the updated scan there with our shear rate product. So as we back on out, I want to show you we have some additional storm cells here, even farther to the northeast here, and these are all moving from west to east with this line of storm cells that's coming on through. Now there's a lot of ground clutter you see. I'm going to clear some of that out. But there's a lot of ground clutter here. But what you need to know is this line of storms right here is going to be crossing our area. We'll be out of here after midnight here. So we have a couple of things going on right now. That's where the action is here. We'll have your full forecast in just a few minutes, Tommy.
Thank you, Keith. To a politics discussion tonight. The phrase "every vote counts" may sound like a cliche, but in local elections like next week's city primaries, it can often prove true. Our Victoria Bailey talks with the man in charge of the state's elections about the importance of getting out the vote.
Why am I voting? Because everybody's vote makes a difference.
On May 2nd, Golden Triangle residents head to the polls to cast their votes for mayor, aldermen, and city council members.
Well, for my town, it was important for the community to have the things that they need, like nice roads and things like that.
According to a survey conducted by Heavy.com, more than 231 million Americans are eligible to vote, but significantly less than that is reflected in the local elections. According to Secretary of State Delbert Hosemann, the local level is where it all begins.
If you're concerned about fire protection, if you're concerned about police protection, if you're concerned about your streets, if you're concerned about your garbage getting picked up, I mean, you need to go vote in municipal elections. I mean, that is where the rubber meets the road. All politics are local, and local politics determine all of those things.
Hosemann says to make anything meaningful happen in your own community, the local elections are vital.
I know that they're concerned about, obviously, the state creates taxation, but so does the municipalities. I mean, they set the ad valorem taxes, all those other things that the Board of Supervisors do. But local elections should be the most important because they directly reflect your day-to-day life.
Carolyn Coy is a Columbus resident, and she says she votes because it gives her a say in the decisions made in the city.
There are a lot of things that people have a problem with in Columbus. I personally don't have any problems with Columbus, but still, everybody should come out and vote.
And if making your voices heard isn't enough,
think about the totality of what's going on here. It's a free and fair election. We don't have to put our finger in purple ink and all that other kind of stuff. It is a hallmark of our republic and the way we run our democratic government. So you need to cast your ballot.
In Columbus, for WCBI News, I'm Victoria Bailey.
The polls will be open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. next Tuesday. In Alabama, embattled Supreme Court Chief Justice Roy Moore made two announcements today. As many expected, Moore announced that he is running for the U.S. Senate seat in this year's special election. That seat was left open when former Senator Jeff Sessions was appointed U.S. Attorney General. He joins what's expected to be a crowded Republican field. That includes former Alabama Attorney General Luther Strange, who's filling in on that seat on an interim basis. In a surprise move, Moore also announced that he's resigning from the state Supreme Court. He had been suspended for the remainder of his term for violating judicial ethics. Alabama Governor Kay Ivey appointed Justice Lynn Stewart to replace Moore as Chief Justice. She was sworn in just this afternoon. You can say you'd probably need more than a paragraph to describe our Educator of the Week. Jean McCulloch teaches 4th grade writing at Ackerman Elementary School. She says she likes to think outside the box when teaching her students the concept of writing. McCulloch says her favorite part of the job is seeing the students' progress, both on and off paper.
I love seeing the children progress, especially in writing. You see them just write, small sentences, and then they come in writing 5-paragraph essays by the time, they leave me. Writing can be so blah sometimes, and it's not fun. So I try to find something that will make them laugh, and they all think I'm crazy anyway.
To nominate a teacher, you can go to our website, WCBI.com.
Pretty good thunderstorm coming into the Tupelo area right now. Winds are pretty strong out ahead of this system, and with this system, we're going to see some pretty good rain and some lightning. You can see a live look with our Alpha Insurance camera in downtown Tupelo. The full forecast is coming up next.
WCBI's Educator of the Week is brought to you by Food Giant, where your neighbors are the owners. Your first alert weather forecast with Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson.
All right, we do have a severe thunderstorm watch for areas along and south of 82, officially in effect until 2 o'clock in the morning. Other counties included and not included. Let's just say that we have some gusty storms moving on through, producing a lot of lightning and perhaps some wind gusts to around 60 miles per hour. This is our very own meteorologist, Jacob Dickey. He is live in Webster County right now, I think in Eupora. He's been tracking that storm that has had that severe thunderstorm warning with it, but the warning has just been canceled. So we've seen some pretty good storms across the western counties of our viewing area, and this is a live look in Tupelo with a storm coming on in right now with our Alpha Insurance camera downtown at Fair Park in HD. You can see that storm producing some very heavy rainfall, and we're looking at some gusty wind and some frequent lightning. And let me show you that on radar. Here it is. Here it comes. It's coming right in the Tupelo, right along 45 right there. And this is not severe, but pretty good rainfall rates, lots of lightning. In this view alone, 400 lightning strikes here. And I do want to show you with our shear ray product, one of our exclusive products here at WCBI, you can see this little narrow stripe of green. That is right on the leading edge of this storm complex, and that is that gusty wind, perhaps over 40 miles per hour. So that's where we have some activity. Let's go back down to the southwest, and you can see that we do have some additional activity farther southwest here from Eupora back down towards Kosciuszko, also causing some cause for concern. But the warning for Webster County has been dropped. But once again, between Vardaman and just southwest of Houston here, that's some of that gusty wind spiraling into Chickasaw County. And there's some additional gusty wind with our shear rate product here down in Atala County. So that warning down there in Atala County also goes until 10:45. So here's a big picture. Big batch of thunderstorms coming on through, and this will be out of here sometime after midnight. Let's talk about the situation. Dew point values, 50s to low 60s. Marginal moisture for widespread severe weather this far northeast. The deeper moisture has been pinched off, which is why we haven't seen robust activity around here as far as severe weather. That's certainly good news. Now, out ahead of the storms, we're in the mid-70s. Behind it, falling into the 60s, our lows tonight should settle down into the 50s in many spots. But out ahead of that storm line, we're looking at some wind gusts over 25 miles per hour. There's the squall line. It's moving on through. It's out of here after midnight. And when you wake up tomorrow, a mix of clouds and sunshine. And we will actually have a very nice Thursday around here with highs primarily in the 70s. Not too shabby here, low to mid 70s north, mid to upper 70s farther south, maybe a shot at 80 degrees in the far south with high pressure in complete control. Another system, though, for the weekend, the best chance for severe weather Friday night and Saturday just to our northwest. We're really watching this area of low pressure right here. That will swing on through Sunday with that cold front. We're going to see another round of strong storms, perhaps some severe weather, and some very heavy rainfall. And there's that severe weather threat area for Sunday as we close out the weekend. So, Tommy, this is late April. We have some very active weather this time of year. We have it right now. And we will be following the weather as we go throughout the course of the evening. Alex Puckett is in the building, too, and we are following these storms. And after midnight, things will settle down tonight.
Yeah. So we kept an open mind coming into the night. It looks like there's a chance we could be getting out of all of this with little to no storm damage.
And so far, so good in our area. No reported
Yeah.
damage or major problems.
All right, we're staying on it, though.
We will.
All right, Keith, thank you very much. And we'd like to announce a pre-qualifier for a chance to win a made-over 2004 Nissan Titan. Veronica Harris from Columbus has a chance now to win our Crank It Up contest. Veronica registered at Columbus Vacuum. You can find out how to register on our website. People can also qualify at the Market Street Festival. That's where we'll ultimately be giving away that truck. That's May 6th. It's never too early to start talking about football. The Rebel faithful converge on Tupelo to do just that. That's coming up tonight. Stay with us. To our Health Talk with Baptist segment. Tonight, Baptist is talking about allergies.
What is the cause of most spring allergies? The biggest spring allergy trigger is pollen, tiny grains released into the air by trees, grasses, and weeds for the purpose of fertilizing other plants. When pollen grains get into the nose of someone who's allergic, they send the immune system into overdrive. As the trees start to bloom and the pollen is released into the atmosphere, allergy sufferers begin their annual ritual of sniffing and sneezing. Each year, 58 million Americans fall prey to seasonal allergic rhinitis, more commonly known as hay fever. Pollen can travel for miles, spreading a path of misery for allergy sufferers along the way. The higher the pollen count, the greater the misery. The pollen count measures the amount of allergens in the air in grains per cubic meter. You can find out the daily pollen count in your area by watching your local weather forecast. Here are some of the biggest spring allergy offenders. Trees including oak, pine, willow, elm, hickory, and cedar. Grasses and weeds including Bermuda, fescue, Johnson, perennial rye, timothy, and ragweed. Allergy symptoms tend to be particularly high on breezy days when the wind picks up pollen and carries it through the air. Rainy days, on the other hand, cause a drop in the pollen counts because the rain washes away the allergens. Join us next time on Health Talk with Baptist, and we'll discuss some of the treatments of spring allergies.
Mail your topic suggestions to healthtalk@wcbi.com. Health Talk has been brought to you by Baptist Memorial Hospital Golden Triangle.
Coming up, our Student Athlete of the Week spotlights two senior stars at Caledonia. We profile the Feds baseball team next in sports.
WCBI Sports with Robbie Donahoe.
With the summer closing in fast, it's time to hit the road at Ole Miss as the Rebels had their annual Rebel Road Trip lined up and ready to roll. Now, this year's road trip visited Pascagoula, Dallas, Nashville, Greenville, and Tupelo. As earlier this evening, the road trip bus stopped off at the Bancorp South Conference Center in Tupelo to visit with the Rebel fans in attendance as Hugh Freeze and Ross Bjork joined the Ole Miss faithful for a night to look forward to and to look back on the memories of the 2016-17 athletic season. For Freeze and Bjork, the two enjoy getting to be in the community and catching up with fans who follow the Rebels wherever they may be.
This Rebel road trip and getting out to be with our fans is always unique and just reminds me why I love what I do and where I do it at and who I do it for. They're such good people that are very deserving of us spending the time to come and see them in their hometowns. So it's been good.
It's been a great week. You know, lots of energy all over Rebel Nation, the Ole Miss family, and that's really the purpose behind this, is to kind of bring the program to the people, to our fans, to our alumni, and the response has been tremendous everywhere we've gone.
Speaking of Ole Miss, the Rebels are tied for 8th in the SEC right now at 9-9. The Bulldogs sitting atop of the SEC baseball standings at 13-5. But this is a big weekend coming up as MSU will take on Auburn at Dudy Noble Friday through Sunday series. The Saturday and Sunday games will be on the SEC Network. And then also want to mention Ole Miss, Arkansas. That's going to be a Thursday through Saturday series. Those Thursday-Friday games will be on the SEC Network. I also want to mention Terriante Thomas made it official tonight as he signed with EMCC. The New Hope Trojan averaged 20.7 rebounds, 4 assists per game in his final year with New Hope. He'll look to bolster his resume and his prowess at EMCC, and he'll look to make a D1 going into 2 years from now, maybe a year, who knows. To our Student Athlete of the Week, Caledonia has their sights set on a deep playoff run, and it's 2 seniors that are leading the way for the Feds. Jonathan Flippo has more.
Logan Suggs and Spencer Unruh have had quite the friendship since they were little playing baseball on the diamond, and that friendship has continued throughout high school at Caledonia.
Spencer's a great friend, great teammate. I've known him since we were 4 years old. We've played baseball together, so it's cool having him by my side the whole time.
We've been playing together since we played park ball when we were 4 or 5 years old, and our friendship has just grown since then and continued growing.
Last week in Game 1 of the playoffs, Suggs pitched his first career no-hitter against New Albany. But he didn't think about it that as much as he kind of knew what was going on.
You try to keep it in the back of your mind. Like, obviously I knew it was going on, but you think about it too much, and that's when it gets away from you. So just try to throw every pitch like it was the first one of the game.
Unruh knew that the no-hitter was going on as the game went along, but others didn't until it was mentioned later on throughout the game.
I was just hoping nobody would say anything about it, because as soon as someone says something about it, that's when it slips. But it's definitely a great accomplishment for them.
Caledonia Confederates turned their attention to a team that they're very familiar with, a team that they beat 2 weeks ago with a Logan Suggs walk-off winner. And that's the team in Pontotoc Warriors, so they'll know what they have to do to be successful.
2 Saturdays ago, we played them here and beat them 9-8, but they've gotten hot lately, and I mean, we're peaking at the right time, so it's going to be a good series.
They hit the ball very well, so we're definitely going to have to make plays on defense and throw strikes, and as long as we put the ball in play like we did against New Albany, I think we should be fine.
Game 1 will begin on Friday as Caledonia hosts Pontotoc at 7 p.m. In Caledonia, I'm Jonathan Flippo with WCBI Sports.
WCBI Student Athlete of the Week with Jonathan Flippo is brought to you by C Spire Wireless.
All right, thank you very much, Jonathan. Again, playoff action in baseball and fast pitch. That will continue tomorrow night all around the viewing area. Most of the fast pitch series will finish up tomorrow. Baseball will continue on Friday, and then we got baseball on Saturday. So plenty of playoff action to look forward to. We also have the NFL draft starting tomorrow night. Remember, it's just the first round. The only Mississippi name more than likely we'll hear is Evan Ingram towards the tail end of the first round, but we'll keep an eye on it. Who knows? Crazy things have happened in the draft. That's it for sports. Keith has a last look at your forecast when we return.
Hey, here's a live look in Tupelo. You can see some of that lightning there. Quite the light show there
Yeah,
in
look at
Tupelo
that.
this evening. Very vivid. A severe thunderstorm just south of Tupelo approaching Okolona. There could be some wind gusts to 60 miles per hour with that. You can see our shear rate there. Also farther south towards Winston County, Louisville, batten down the hatches. A severe thunderstorm coming on in. That warning until 11:30. Perhaps some wind gusts over 60 miles per hour. So these storms are rumbling on through, and we'll be following this once they get out here after midnight.
Yep. All right, Keith, thank you. Thanks for joining us. The Late Show with Stephen Colbert is coming up next.